Hello, we hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another episode of Overwatch News. I hope you guys all enjoy. Going to be a very fast one though, as we break down, of course, the brand new format for Overwatch League Season 2 just announced today, and it will start officially. It's now official. The date has been locked in for February 14th of course, 2019 to start off our brand new season with some huge changes out there. Of course, right off the bat, we have our 8 brand new teams split amongst the Atlantic and Pacific Division, 4 teams each. Alongside those, though, those 4 teams joining does make for 10 teams total in each division. And again, we also have a reduction in the overall matches, which I think is definitely a big plus going forward. It does seem right now going to be 28 matches as opposed to 40. So the big question, of course, is Shanghai. Can they avoid the 0-28? But besides the jokes out there, it will still be 4 stages, 5 weeks long each. And again, on top of that, we actually have a brand new format because each and every team can have either 0, 1, or 2 matches per week, which does, of course, mean more time for rest, more time for preparation, especially for teams out there who are only playing one opponent. You can expect maybe some more wins on those kind of weeks where they have more time to prepare for just one opponent as opposed to 2. But again, going to be split evenly throughout that as well for a total of 28 matches. It does seem the format will be a double round robin for all the teams in your own division, so you play all 9 other teams twice. That's 18 matches right there, and then you play every other team in the opposite division for another 10 matches for 28 total. So again, going to be very cool to see how this does play out in terms of rest and preparation. We should see a lot better gameplay when a lot of these teams will have some rest weeks out there and some weeks where they have less matches than they did last season. So it can be very cool to see how this actually affects different I guess you could say combinations out there. Now also, there still will be, of course, stage finals, but this time around only 3 stage finals, no more stage 4 finals. If you guys remember last time around, we saw maybe some sandbagging, maybe some teams out there not showing their playoff strats. It makes a lot of sense though for teams who are actually in stage 4 finals and somehow not in playoffs or actually are in playoffs. Maybe all the teams are in playoffs, so they don't want to show their strategies or give away too much for those actual playoffs itself, which really do matter more than the stage finals. This makes a lot of sense. So we're gonna be really cool to see as well 3 stage finals. On top of that, of course, your divisional winners will actually take your number 1 and number 2 seeds, and they'll be followed by your 6 next best teams despite whatever division they are in. So it can be all from one division, although highly unlikely, but it will be your divisional winners taking the number 1 and number 2 seeds, and alongside that, your next 6 best teams, no matter what division they're in, will take those next 6 spots into stage final. But the biggest change will be for playoffs, and I am very excited about this. Now I'll explain. I'm actually a Dallas Fuel fan, or was, and I'm not really sure who I'm going to cheer for this season, but it makes sense. I'll kind of bring that around in a full circle as exactly why this could have impacted them last time around. Playoffs are entirely different. Now, of course, divisional champs will go through your number 1 and number 2 seeds, although there will not be a bye for this year's playoffs, which I think is going to be amazing to see how that plays off. We saw as well a lot of the teams who advanced to semis, actually all the teams who advanced to semis of our last Overwatch League finals actually lost their matches, so no effect to see that. We're going to see all quarterfinal matchups, all semifinal matchups. Every team will have to play to get where they are. Now, on top of that, though, besides your divisional champs, it'll be your next 4 teams in the standings besides what division they come from. And then very lastly, the most exciting thing I want to see is actually the 7th through 12th place teams. That's 6 teams right there will have a playoff stage, or I guess a play-in stage. They'll have a playoff for those last 2 spots. So again, 6 teams, 7th through 12th place will actually get to compete, and that does mean if you had let's say a very solid last 2 stages, but a very crappy first 2 stages, and let's say a team like Dallas Fuel who had a very bad 2nd and 3rd stage, 11th place in both those stages, and then in stage 4 they were actually one of your rising teams. They go 6 and 4, they finished 4th place, but they missed just barely. A team like Houston Outlaws had a very similar story, although not near as bad stage 2 and 3s, but still it definitely allows for a lot more competition, and it definitely allows for a great play-in stage between those 6 7th through 12th place teams, those 6 teams there who really wouldn't have a chance. So that does mean as well, likely because it's 6 teams, the 7th and 8th place teams will get byes to those semifinals if that's how the format does work. So if you do play 7th and 8th place, of course in season 1 you would have gone through the playoffs. Your one benefit here is you get an automatic bye most likely in that final play-in stage tournament. So again, a brand new format means a lot of new things, and on top of that, brand new teams as well. I'm not really sure what to expect when we eventually break down the talent on those new teams. Will the Pacific finally catch up to the Atlantic in terms of overall dominance, especially coming off last season? We cannot wait to see. And also on top of that, it does seem all-star break. If you guys, not really a huge change there, will be actually snuck in between stages. It will not be after the finals. It'll actually be, I think, between stages 2 and 3. So it's gonna be cool to see how that works out as well. But again, a lot of changes coming for season 2. I cannot wait to see it come around. And again, it's also gonna be a long wait though. So we have a lot of things coming here very soon, especially when it comes to team changes, and I'm sure we'll break those down sometime soon. But as always, my name is Jake. I hope you guys all enjoyed. I'll see you back here tomorrow for more esports news here on Esports Talk. And as always, I'll see you then.